Hey guys, it's Molly Sanier. Welcome to Monday Night. It's Throwing with Molly. I'm so excited for tonight. Lots of firsts, lots of newbies, and I'm really excited about this guest tonight. If you're following Throwing with Molly, it's my new membership account. It is totally free, it's private, and it will be a paid membership later. But for now, just hit request to follow, and you get access. So we just did a pre-show with Shane Patrick Cruz, who's going to be my guest in just a second. Did a precursor to this magic trick. We'll see later. But I also have a lot I wanted to share with y'all tonight, so I made a couple notes for myself. But, I'm releasing summer workshops, so stay tuned. I'm just waiting to get word from my school to confirm the dates, which I shared on my Instagram story, so summer workshops are coming. I'm doing arts in the park. What else? I updated my website, so you can go and shop some of my new pieces on my website. Thanks for tuning in. Heart eyes right back at you. And then, so the summer workshops, I just want to talk about that, and then I'm so excited to get Shane out, who's never thrown. So, again, check out Throwing with Molly to get access to, we kind of did a pre-lesson, but the workshops, I'm going to do, just like I did last summer, I'm going to have a morning and an evening, like throwing workshops. So we do throwing Monday through Thursday, and then I'm going to bisque fire, and then Monday we'll glaze, and then I'll glaze fire, and then you can pick up Wednesday. Okay, so enough about that. Let's get Shane Patrick Cruz out here.
Yeah.
Come on out, Shane.
All right.
Yay.
Yeah,
Cheers.
cheers first.
Cheers, yes.
Yeah, cheers with
Cheers.
the Frank glass. I love these.
So let me introduce Shane a little more. Shane reached out to me. Check him out, Darby the Mystic. I've been tagging him. He reached out to do a little magic, a little interview, and he came over with Frank was here, and he did magic, and my dad Frank loves magic. Y'all know Frank. And it was just so fun, and he's never thrown, and I've been having some potters on Throwing with Molly, but a lot of you wanted newbies who had never thrown. So I was like, Shane would be fun, and he'll do some magic with us.
Mess with some people.
So while we had clean hands, we started this magic trick, and he basically showed off there's a sealed envelope. I have my evidence here.
Yeah, so what we have here is we have a sealed, I don't know if you can see there's the sealed envelope here, and inside is predictions I made earlier. And so we've got, you shuffled a regular deck of cards, you took out 5 cards out of the shuffle deck, and then you shuffle, and then there was a bunch of drawings from shows that I've done over time, and you selected one of the drawings, and then we had like a lottery deck, because that's got the lottery numbers written on it, and you shuffled that deck and took out 5 cards out of that.
So we're
and
gonna
we
get
get
to
some
this.
things with some numbers.
Maybe
This number, which we'll get back to.
Yes, that number too. And also tonight, I've got some timers, so we'll get to your questions. We're gonna map out where y'all are from, and we'll get more to the magic. But for now, let's throw what do you want to throw?
A bowl.
A bowl. And you've never thrown ever.
No, never. No. I took I think, what do you call the glass where?
Glass
the
blowing?
tainted glass, like the
Stained glass?
stained glass.
Stained glass,
Yeah,
okay.
I did that. And I was a photography major, I had a photography business, but never.
Yeah, he is
Never
an
was.
artist, just he's never done clay.
Yep.
Did you cut your hair? I did cut my hair. I cut it myself
did.
last week.
Cut yourself.
Did you cut your hair too?
No, I don't cut my own hair.
You don't cut your
I
own?
did used to until I was living down in Myrtle Beach, and I was going out. It was about an hour before we were going out that night, and my roommates and I got out. I cut it before I got in the shower. I got out of the shower, and I saw like a little piece left on the side. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna grab the clippers and just cut the little piece. I didn't realize I had taken the guard off, and so I snipped the whole
Wait a minute,
side.
You had gotten a haircut and then you saw they missed the spot?
Yeah.
See, that's why it's you might as well cut your own hair.
Yeah. And then I had to rush to the mall to master cuts and I had like a very, very high and tight, like all skin. It was horrible. It was really, really hard.
Now you know.
Anyways,
So grab a ball. We always start, if you've never thrown, always use what fits in a handful. That's always the most manageable. And then you want a dry surface, which yours is dry. I just don't want that to be flaky. And then put it in the center, and then you're going to just gently form it into like a cone shape. I just cut my own. My mom will tell me, oh, that side's longer. That side's uneven. But I'm like, whatever. Cut it myself. Okay, so, all right, now, we do that with dry hands, so it's stuck on there.
Right.
And now I fill my sponge up, so when I need water, I can just add it. And your left hand's the boss, so it's anchored in your hip socket. The meat of your palm is on the bat, and it always leans in at the angle to create this cone.
Gotcha.
Everything's always creating that cone. That's why this thumb, it's never over there. It's at this diagonal, so everything's making that cone.
Gotcha.
And water just lets it slide. As soon as it gets dry, it's like sticky, and then you gotta just add water. And then we're gonna cone up and down. So what I like to do is, even though it's palm and fingertips, I like to put this sponge over my fingertips so it doesn't get dry and sticky on me.
Gotcha.
So I kind of like hold it on like that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, then this thumb is gonna lock on. Yep. So we get it kind of spinning, this hand's on there leaning, this finger's grabbing all the way at the bat, squeezing, this thumb's locked on, and then just we spin and we let it rotate and we're kind of squeezing that clip, the right fingertips are squeezing, left palm's pushing, get all the way to the top, and once you're at the top, let it rotate like 5 times, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then slow release. Boom! Cone down.
So
Cone down.
So it's pretty perfect.
All by himself. Boom. I think the biggest mistake people do is they're like so excited they come up here and then they go off.
And that makes it wobbly.
And then it's not centered.
Gotcha.
You always want to spin evenly. And if that happens, if this hand's the boss and that palm is leaning, it will just smooth itself out. And then once you just slow release, after you rotate.
So is this basically coming from the palm of this hand, is that basically in the center?
Yes, you want the
of all of
line
this,
here
right?
to go right through the
Right through the
center
center
of
of that. Okay.
the clay.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. All right, cone
And
up
then cone
one
down.
more time.
Okay.
Just because you still have a lot of thickness, so let these fingertips latch that thumb on there. These fingertips are kind of grabbing on and just hang out right there, let it move. And now you kind of relax and you slowly make your way to the top. And then once you're there, hold it for like 5 rotations. And water is always your friend. And then just let it rotate, slow release. Boom! Still
Beautiful.
centered and coning up.
Beautiful.
Boop. So guys, if you're just tuning in, Shane Patrick Cruz, he's tagged as Darby the Mystic. That's his magician,
So stage
mentalist,
name.
hypnotist. No, you're not a hypnotist.
I am actually.
You are?
I do hypnotize people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, not in my shows typically, sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And Aiden Wystep, you're not bad at ceramics. You're my student.
Oh.
No one's bad at ceramics. You just don't practice enough, because once you practice, then you master it, and then you're all good. All right, so I just kind of cone down. I'm going to cone up one more time and then show you how to cone down.
Okay.
All right, so we get to the top, rotate, slow release. Now, to cone down, the right, and clean out, like I clean out that sponge, like squeeze it, wring it out, and then I load it up with some water. All right, now and I still hold that sponge, I don't squeeze it yet. This hand is gonna squeeze that thumb, because this is anchored. This one's like loosey-goosey.
Right.
So as soon as they're connected, they're both stable.
Gotcha.
All right, so this palm is still on that clay. That's still the boss. This hand is squeezing, so it's anchored now too, and it's gonna catch karate style, that tip. And I'm squeezing a little water as I need it. Palm is on there, perfect. And then as I approach the bat, as I get lower, I have a flat top. You don't want that. So this right hand kind of opens up, and it's gonna drop all the way back down until you reach the bat. Keep your hands connected, just let it rotate. Get all the way to the bat, now just let it rotate like 5 times and slow release. 1, 2, 3, slow release. Boom! So the point here is to keep a cone. As soon as you have a flat top like that, and you go to cone up, you get this crater, and then once you close that, if you keep going, then you have an air bubble, and an air bubble explodes. So we cone up, and you might hear it pop. Well, it wants to just rip off. So it's getting a
So
little
it's like
funky
right
right
there, yeah.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So in the purpose of coning up and down, you cannot cone up and down too much.
Is it to get out the air bubbles?
It's to get out the air bubbles, the inconsistencies, and then you just keep coning up and down. And it's very therapeutic, and just in the moment. So also at school, we recycle a lot of clay, and at school you never know it's getting recycled. And when you're coning up and down, you might find a piece of plastic, or you might find. That is just this little loose fat pen. But that's great, all the way to the top, and then hold it, rotate, slow release. Boom!
Do you always want to come off before, you don't ever want to get here and then go straight back down? Do you always want to come off?
Nope, you can do it in one fluid motion. It's basically if you need more water or not.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, good question. I love a question. So, like I could do this, go down, and then I can go back up, and then I can go down, and then I can go back up, and then I can go down, and I can go back up. And the idea is you're just working out inconsistencies. And then once you feel like it's worked out and it's smooth, we're ready to center. Guys, thanks for tuning in. So if you're tuning in at 7:20, we're going to map y'all out. And at 7:40, we're going to answer some questions y'all sent in. All right, should we center?
Is that a little wobble because it's a little bit
Yeah,
off?
and look, mine's a little wobbly too.
Okay, alright.
Why don't we count up one more time and we'll get it kind of centered?
Okay.
So always start on these right fingertips are going to start on the blue. Like you want to see blue.
Bring my thumb in.
And then you want to connect your hands. Yes. And then this palm's the boss. These fingertips, don't come up too fast. Start just at that bottom. And then you'll kind of feel the clay start to move. And then you move.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just letting it rotate. And you're now look at you. You're basically centered right there. And then you just make that way all the way to the top. Don't worry about that. That's just the bat, not you. And water is going to help you. Slow release.
Fantastic. So fun.
Boom! Never thrown. He's
Alright.
going up and down. It's centered pretty much.
Pretty much.
All right. No, it is.
All right.
The only difference of coning up and it's centered. It's just not our centered shape yet. That's why I say it's pretty much centered because you're
Okay.
almost there. The difference is, and like mine's pretty much centered, but it's not in that shape.
Gotcha.
So before we create our bowl, now we're going to push this down. So karate chopping. And instead of dropping our hand and making a cone, this hand is going to open, so it creates a flat top. You don't want to dig in with your palm. You just want to stay flat and horizontal. Hands are connected. This hand's still the boss. This one's the boss. And once this hand's on that bat, just keep it firm and let this right hand just push. So slowly they're working together and patiently. It's all about patience, which some days I have more than others. A perfect center is so dang satisfying, isn't it though? And once you get this shape, you just hold it and let it rotate, 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 slow, release. So you're going for like this lower shape.
Beautiful.
I'm so proud of you. Guys, he's never thrown.
Never.
He's never
I can see how
thrown.
this
Spin
can
it.
be very-
Students will ask me, is it centered? I'm like, you gotta spin it. Because if there's a wobble, like that is not centered.
Yeah.
So yours is
I
spinning.
do not want to do that. I will not be able to
But
do
you just lean in with this palm, and then this hand just keeps that flat
Gotcha.
top, and you just let it rotate.
Yeah.
The key is always rotate, rotate, rotate. Slow release. Always.
Fantastic.
All right, so that's kind
All
of the hardest part. Like I think I was a ceramics major and couldn't center when I graduated.
Thanks for making
Guys,
me feel great.
those of you who have thrown, how long did it take you to center?
Center is so dang satisfying. It is. It is very satisfying.
So proud. I'm really so proud. And
Tuna can. What is tuna can?
I don't know what a tuna can
No,
is.
tell us what tuna can is.
But I just feel like I have to admit that 15 minutes before we went live, we were over on Throne with Molly, and I gave him a quick hand-over-hand demo. I feel like hand-over-hand instruction really sets it in.
Because you can feel the pressure.
You can feel it,
Yeah.
and then you can do it. That's why you should take a workshop this summer. Get you there.
That's very true.
All right, it took me a couple months to nail it. Like, it's not no joke.
I wouldn't call this nailing
Spin
it.
it.
But
Boom. The
It's
first
just an
time it
optical
took me
illusion.
probably half an hour. It still takes me forever. Like, I'm not even joking.
it's just me hypnotizing y'all through this to make it look like
Can
this
we
is
just
centered.
cheers?
I know.
Because every form comes from this. So the fact that you can cone up and down and center, you can make
Cheers.
whatever you want. I'm going for my first pottery class birthday, March 28th. Aries, any tips for a first-time potter? Well, let's get back to that at our question time, which is what, at 7:40. 7:40 we're going to talk questions, and I want Shane to answer that question because he's a first-time potter, so he'll give you tips.
Yeah.
Takes a good teacher. I love y'all. Okay, so we're going to open and make our bottom.
That's what the other hand.
Left
right?
hand's still the boss.
Okay. All right.
The left hand's still the boss because as the right hand's going to open, the clay, like watch this, without this hand, it wants to start getting wobbly.
Okay.
This hand is the boss. It's the wall. This hand hangs on top. And then I like to use my middle fingers. For a bowl, you can kind of use all three. And just have it spinning, speed your friend. And you're just going to find that center first. And now that you have it, you're going to gently but firmly push in with these, all the fingers you want. Because it's a bowl. If you're doing a cylinder, you don't want to
Okay.
open up too much.
So here's what happened, right? Is that because it needs more water?
Oh,
So I
that
pushed
just
in and
happened
just-
because you just took your hand off and it wasn't still rotate, slow
gotcha.
release. Rotate, rotate, slow release. I tried to put that on a shirt, but nothing really happened. So I'm gonna give you more water. So now you just wanna make sure that you leave like this much clay on the bottom.
How do you know though? Like how do you?
Good question. How do you know? So
Yeah.
I've just done it so many times, but when you don't know, you can stop it. Take a clean needle tool, poke it, put your finger where it meets, pull it out. That's my thickness.
Got you. Also, why is
like-
mine? That's pretty.
So you've got a little. I'd go to like there. I wouldn't go much further.
Here's the other question I
Uh
have.
huh.
Why is yours less?
Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, mine is more
Because
straight
you're almost
down.
opening for a cylinder, which you want. If this lip, the top's called the lip. If the lip gets wide, you get a bowl.
Okay.
If you can keep this lip narrow, which you've done, you can get a nice cylinder, some height.
So I do. Is it because I'm more this way than
Yes,
this
you're
way?
more in, whereas I'm
Gotcha.
kind of leaning.
Can it be fixed from here? just
Oh
by leaning
yeah,
out?
yeah. Everything can always be fixed. So your hands are connected. I would open down though, just like you were doing, because remember you were like here and we want like there.
Mhm.
So just a little more. First you get your. I'm gonna open down a little more too. Okay, so we're just open, then slow release. After you rotate. Yay! Thank you, first time in live, guys. Thanks for tuning in live.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Shane Patrick Cruz, aka Darby the Mystic, first time ever throwing. We're making bowls.
Making
It's Monday
bowls.
night. Cheers.
Cheers again.
Get it
Hold on.
messy. No, just grab
Oh,
it.
get it
No
messy,
problem.
alright.
Or get your towel messy, whatever.
There we go.
Cheers. We started a magic trick. Before we went live here, we were live over on Throne with Molly, and
Yeah.
we have a magic trick we're going to continue at some point.
Okay.
Okay. So we're kind of open. Now, remember how I was talking about my bowl bottom's only that wide. So it's going to spill
Gotcha.
around. So I'm going to add water. This hand's still a boss. That line is lining up to the middle. Hands are still connected. And then this finger that pushed down to open
Mhm.
is going to pull back towards me, and watch my bottom. It's kind of getting wider. And I can keep going as wide as I want. I could go
Mhm.
make a plate.
Mhm.
So you make it as wide as you want. And if I go back to the middle, I kind of press that peak, I come back. And just slow. You always want it to rotate before you move.
Mhm.
If I just go whoop whoop, it gets kind of off center. So if it just rotates and I hold it, and it just rotates and I hold it, rotate. Vancouver, we're gonna map y'all out. 7:20, we're mapping everybody out. That's in like 2 minutes. So Vancouver, I hope I remember Vancouver. Cheers, glad to be here. Glad y'all are here. Okay,
Why
so
is
look
it
at you.
wobbly?
Well,
I
and
think I'm going too
and you're
far.
wide, but you can have a big
Yeah.
salad bowl or something.
All right. Cool.
I mean, a bowl is a bowl. What makes a bowl is a continuous curve,
Mhm.
and makes a bowl. Oh, and the top portion's thin enough. That's what I always tell my students. Ooh, Sydney, Australia, Singapore. Wait, not yet. DC. Hang
Oh
on.
wow, you guys are. Oh.
Yeah, Oliver, San. I'm gonna guess Francisco. But at 7:20, we're gonna map you. Okay, so watch. So I've made my bottom. I reached in, and what you did is you let this inside hand be the boss.
Yeah.
This inside hand is like, woo, we're gonna keep opening.
Yeah.
Which fine, whatever. You have a big bowl. Now you're ready to pull. So now this hand's the boss. It's anchored in your hip.
Okay.
This is when this hand is going to hold that sponge because it's these fingertips on that blue bat.
Mhm.
This hand's the boss. It's anchored, holding that sponge. This hand's not anchored, so it always connects when possible. Yeah, that thumb will connect over here.
Mhm.
Then for a bowl, for a cylinder, you start right there. But for a bowl, this finger's just going to touch the center.
Your middle finger.
Yeah, I like to use my middle and my ring finger, and like perfect. You already worked that. Did you see how you had that peak?
Mhm.
You already pushed it down, just
Mhm.
gently. So gently, I'm just gonna glide. I'm just gliding across. This finger's pressing. This one's not pressing yet. And as it glides over and they press it against each other, they're squeezing. This hand's gonna go out and up, and slow your wheel a little bit, just like a slow. Because the faster, it's like that roller coaster ride where it like flares out of control.
Mhm.
And you just reach your way all the way to the top. You're just letting it rotate. It's slow.
Mhm.
That's the thing with Instagram videos. It's all fast. You want to go slow with a bowl, especially all the way to the top. Once you're at the top, rotate and stay anchored. This hand's the boss. Slow your wheel. It's just going too fast. That's it. Rotate, rotate, and then slow release. Good slow release.
So it's a little off center, right?
What are you, a first timer?
On there, right?
I mean, that's pretty good.
Okay.
What I would do at this point is clean and wring out your sponge,
Okay.
like no water. Like, see, I bring it all the way out, all the way clean. Oh!
That's the first alarm?
First alarm, time to map y'all out.
Alright,
But
so
while I map y'all, I want to show you what to do. You've wrung that out. Hold this with both hands, elbows
Yeah.
against your body. Spin it, slow-ish. Center. You're gonna reach that high peak. See how that's highest. So with the bowl, we're looking for a continuous curve, and yours is like high, low, high. So you're gonna take your pressure, reach that center, and slowly relax that pressure as you come over here, and then press more as you go back to center. And just patient, slow. Okay, guys, where are y'all from? Oh, Houston, Texas,
We got
Puerto
Argentina.
Rico, Argentina.
And Singapore, I think.
Clean these hands. Get this marker. Guys, Shane Patrick Cruz in the house. Throwing for the first time ever. He's making
First
a bowl.
time ever.
First time ever. He's centered and going up and he's throwing a bowl. Just remember slow release. That's a
not
great
good.
serving bowl. Pasta.
No.
Clean out your sponge. Clean
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
bring it out, and then just do that again. And you
Is
just
it because
clean
I
it.
pressed too hard?
And I think you're going too fast. Like, if you want the wheel to go slow,
Yeah.
go slow with the wheel. Perfect. Now hold that with both hands, elbows against your body. Just stay in the center for like 5 rotations. Don't come over here yet. Work out that center and then come a little, and 5 times, and then come a little, and then 5 times. You're slow. The faster, the more spirals. Okay, ooh, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania,
Oh, Pittsburgh.
New Zealand.
Hey, if you're in Pittsburgh, a good friend of mine, Eric Jones, was just up at Liberty Magic. You need to check out Liberty Magic.
Ooh, Liberty
Pittsburgh.
Magic, New
The
Hampshire.
Cultural Trust.
San Antonio, Argentina.
Miami.
Miami. Wait, San Antonio,
Ontario.
Argentina.
South
was
Carolina. Where in South Carolina?
that? Ontario. Clemson, South
Oh,
Carolina.
fantastic.
Lebanon. That's
Lebanon.
my
There
heritage.
you
I gotta
go.
go one day. Washington.
DC.
Lebanon. I know where you are. You're the little peanut right over here. Washington, D.C. Did I get that? Yes. Florence, South Carolina.
Oh,
Puerto
Florence,
Rico.
yeah. Puerto Rico. Dallas. I lived in Myrtle Beach for like
Dallas.
6 years.
You did? Myrtle Beach, South Carolina?
Yeah.
Lived there?
Mhm.
CT. Connecticut? Dallas? CT is Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I kind of love having a map because I love geography. I'm not saying I'm good at it or I know where everything is, but I love putting a face to where y'all are from. Connecticut. So how's it? Oh, look at that! So I always ask my students, is there a continuous curve? And I would say, just let it spin and get that guy out. Like,
Yeah.
let it spin, and as your sponge hits it, it'll just pick it up. And then, is this top portion thin enough? Because when we flip it upside down to trim it, we can trim the bottom, but we can't trim up here. So like mine's still kind of thick. Yours, I think it's pretty good. But I'm gonna show you one more thing before we're done.
Okay.
See, and this isn't even it, but keep spinning it and get this slip. That's what we call it. Clay and water makes a slip. It's this stuff. It's like yogurt.
Mhm.
So try to get the slip off and always touch
Okay.
it when it's spinning. Because if you touch it and it's not spinning, you get it off center.
Gotcha.
So as long as it's spinning, no problem. So just clean your sponge, wring it out, get that slip off, and I'm gonna show you the wooden knife tool.
The wooden knife
The
tool.
wooden knife tool. Oops, I'm gonna give mine one more pull. Because like I said, I think it's a little thick.
We are doing great. Thank you, Kim, the last person. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
I can't
what does
read the
that say?
name.
I
Yeah.
can't either.
Says good job, green.
Thank you for your comments
yeah, thank
and
you.
watching.
We appreciate it.
See, I put the black apron so you can read it better, and I still have a hard time. Kiami
Yeah,
Mehapur?
no. Kiami.
Kiami!
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, so interior curve, top
Uh-huh.
portion's thick enough. And then, you know what? Cheers. I love it. Cheers. Shane's drinking some red wine. I'm drinking white, in
I love
case you
some
cared.
Some Malbec.
I love Malbec.
Okay.
Okay.
So where are we?
So after we've pulled, which is when you squeeze the thickness and get it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always get into this, but I'm going to tonight.
Okay.
Using a rib tool. And I'm going to use both of these and show you, and then you're going to use both of these.
Okay.
So I've had questions about using rib tools, and these are for shaping. So if you're doing a cylinder, you might get that straight edge and just go straight up.
Only like the
on the wall.
Inside and outside. Gotcha.
We're doing this bowl, so for this bowl, I like to use this wide curve.
Okay.
Bend that with my thumb, like, press, and then match that curve.
Gotcha.
So it's gonna look like this. Right hand's the boss holding it, and I'll talk you through this. This hand's not going anywhere. It's just kind of putting that curve right on there, like a silhouette. It's not even matching it yet. So this hand's just there. This hand is just gently gonna push into this outside curve. It's gently gonna, instead of fingertip to fingertip, it's
Like
rib to
rolling
rib.
into it.
Yeah. So this one, the trick here is slightly away, and you're always over at 3 o'clock over here. Don't go over there.
Why?
Then-
Why not go?
Because if I go over there, it's going to gouge out the clay and make a mark. It's going to catch, it's going to spin into that and catch it.
Gotcha.
Whereas if it's over here, it's just going to go under, nice and smooth.
Gotcha. Okay.
No problem. So
those
right
soft
hand,
ribs.
these are those ribs where every color is a different,
Like
feel
thickness?
those, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I really don't like
Yeah.
the red ones. They're really flimsy. But like this one, I can't get my curve. I could
Gotcha.
use this on the inside, but I like yellow to yellow.
All right.
Curve, boop. Right hand's the boss. It's anchored. This hand's not the boss. This is a little tricky because my hands aren't connected.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little advanced, but I think you can handle it.
Okay.
It's all about being present, which you're good at, and breathe. And
Yeah.
this hand comes on, and I'm just letting it rotate. And slowly, this hand's the only one moving. This hand's just staying right there. I'm going to gently press. I'm just rotating right there. And see that one little mark? It's like wet, dry, wet, dry.
Mhm.
I'm hanging right there and letting it rotate until I don't see that. And it's just patience, like rotate, rotate. Now it's there, and now I can slowly glide this up. And they're actually coming up together. I'm not worried as much about that transition. This just kind of makes a nice curve.
Gotcha.
It's a shaper. It's really, we don't need to do this tonight, but we are because it's, why not? Why not try it? So
Is this just to get it more
Curve.
exact? Or
yeah,
just,
like a
it's
nice
just only for the curve?
transition
Yeah, yeah.
down there. So
Gotcha.
like this hand would be the boss, and then this one can just kind of press that a
Does it
little
need
bit.
more water?
No.
No.
No more water.
Okay.
And
is it
actually, mine
curving?
still has water, so I'm going to take my water out. All right, so this hand's the boss, and this one hand's going to get that curve. Perfect. And just hold that right there. Get it spinning like a controlled, like, see mine's like slow. Perfect. Right there. This hand's the boss, and then this hand,
Is this curving?
we're going to flip it this way. So that curve is going to slowly, and if you angle it away from you like that, and you just slowly, we're just going to make contact. And then you slowly, right there is where we're going to get that transition, right there. Feel this hand's pressing a little bit. This hand's just stable. We're just letting it rotate like 6 times, however long we need. Rotate, rotate. Just let that one little funky part work itself out. And then, once it's done that, like maybe 3 more rotations, like 1, push a little harder. Oh, perfect, that's okay. And now, we can slowly come right there to the top. Rotate, 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 slow, release. Boom.
Oh,
So
yeah.
see, now you have like a
Mm-hmm.
nice curve. All right,
Yeah.
so mine has a puddle of water, so if I don't get that out, I'm gonna come back to a crack. Devin Massive, I don't know what that means either. Lafayette, Colorado. I don't know what all that means. Okay, so I'm gonna take my wrung out sponge and just reach to the center. And while it's spinning, slowly come over to 3 o'clock and just get that shine out. Because if you leave
Why
it
does
shine,
why does the water cause how does the water cause cracks?
good question. So we just talked about how the water down here, it's called slip when it's like watery.
Mm-hmm.
So basically to recycle the clay, you add water and it turns it back to mush. So if we
Gotcha.
make this and we leave water in the bottom, it's going to turn to mush. We don't want that.
Gotcha.
Did you make your mugs that you're drinking wine in? I sure did. These are some Molly Sanders ceramics. I've got one of my Frank mugs on my website. One of them.
I like the Frank mugs.
Cheers. You got one right there.
Cheers.
Boom. Cheers. Okay, your little lip, and the lip is the top part.
Yeah.
My sponge is all clean and it's
So
wrung
we're done
out.
with these.
Done with those.
Okay.
Clean and wrung out. All I'm gonna do is take this and we're just gonna smooth the lip, which is like, my pressure is like this. Like I'm not touching, and I'm
Gotcha.
spinning like this, and I'm just gently touching, and see how it just took that shine. I'm gonna go right on the inside, right on the outside. I'm just taking that shine off, taking that slip, and just gently cleaning the surface, letting it rotate, and slow release. Okay, then the wooden knife, which I think there's one on yours. Is there one over there?
Right here?
Perfect. All right, this is the wooden knife tool. We'll get rid of the sponge.
Okay.
You're gonna hold this like a pencil, however you hold a pencil, and not down there, but in the middle of it. Okay, this hand is gonna hold on to everything. Like, so this is here, and it's gonna like hold on.
Okay.
All right, I like to put both elbows against my body, but really this hand's the boss.
Okay.
And then, so the wooden knife tool is great to pre-shape and cut off some of the extra clay. Like, you have this great curve, but out here it's like diagonal.
Mm-hmm.
And like mine is kind of curved and it's like straight.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, what's gonna happen is like tomorrow or the next day, I'm gonna trim the bottom,
Right.
like with a potato peeler, and like
Mhm.
shape the bottom. So this isn't really that important. But this helps give us a groove to wire cut underneath that. So you hold this like a pencil, nice and tight. You're gonna get it spinning like a medium. And then, you're fine. Once I'm anchored, my elbows are against my body, over at 3 o'clock, and I'll do it and then you watch and then I'll help you.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna touch where I wanna make my cut, and see, I just made a line. And I just touched.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's gonna spin. I'm gonna brace myself, I'm gonna hold on tight. In each rotation, it's all about patience. Slowly push down, down, just patiently. The slower, the cleaner the cut. And then you hear that, I'm at the back.
Mm-hmm.
And my cut was kind of at this angle. So now I can stop it and cut through that with my little needle tool. And once I cut through that, I can hold it, cut underneath of it, and then remove this extra. And then it started to shape off, and it took off some of this thickness,
Mm-hmm.
so it's less to clean up later.
Gotcha.
And then that gets recycled.
Okay.
Alright, so you hold it nice and tight like a pencil. Yours, we're gonna angle it like this way. So like get your nice, yep. Alright, I'd say your cut could be like here. So we just touch first, get our bearings. And then once we know, we hold on tight. Your speed is great. And then we patiently, each rotation, you can push a little further. Boom, we're there. Then you can come up. You can stop your wheel. Grab this needle tool, cut through that little band, hold it under it, and spin it. Perfect. Little spin. Boom. Just make sure that needle tool's up under that little ring where you cut. Perfect. And then you can find your opening or make a new one and peel it away.
So good.
So good! Guys, thanks for tuning in. I wouldn't leave man alone so he can do it himself. Are you talking to me? Am I the woman who needs to leave the man alone? Cormac, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I don't know who y'all are, what y'all are talking about. But cheers, I'm so proud of you. So now, got it.
There we go.
Okay.
Why is this spinning with nothing?
Or you take your heel and press it all the way down. Heel,
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
There we go. No, now it's just a little more open. So
All right,
now
what do we do with this?
we'll just make a pile and we'll recycle it. I'll take yours. Okay, so now before we're done, I would just say take a sponge,
Mm-hmm.
clean sponge, and just make sure all the slip is all smooth and like the lip is smooth in a slow speed. And then we're done and we'll do another one.
Fantastic.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're tuning in, we're making bowls. Shane's never thrown before ever in his
Never.
life. And he's boom. This is actually a beautiful serving dish.
Thank you so very much. I think that it's,
And I would gently
Okay.
come from underneath and like clean that up.
gosh,
And I'm gonna try to get that divot that I showed you, what would happen if you applied the rib the wrong way.
mm-hmm.
Yes, you are the woman in question. You on the right. Hi, my name's Molly. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm Molly Sander. This is Throne with Molly every Monday night. This is episode 41.
41?
41.
Oh my gosh. And make sure too that we did a pre-show episode over on Throwing with Molly.
Yes.
So make sure that you head over there for now. I'll tell them it's going to be it doesn't cost it right now. Like
It's free.
It's free right
membership.
now.
It's a private membership account, but
Yeah.
all memberships free. Everybody's accepted
For-
until May 1st.
Until May 1st. Okay, very cool.
And now, over loving kills pots.
Okay.
So you have a beautiful pot. We don't want to over love. So you stop it, and the beauty of the bat is that, and I'm going to take yours off for you because
Okay.
this is like a careful piece. And this one gets stuck. So we can just take the whole bat. Look, Shane's never thrown. Look at that. I can see pasta in that.
Yeah.
I always think food because I love food. Like,
So
can you
what
make
happened-
that
okay, let me-
piece next week, seeing as it's Mother's Day.
Oh, this month is it? Well, like
Coming up May.
what's going on? Like, how do you just?
Oh, good question.
Yeah.
I like that you're like paying attention to your craftsmanship. He's saying, what's up with the texture? And that's all gonna get smoothed out when we trim it. On the
Oh,
bottom.
okay. All right. Cool.
When you throw a bowl, if the inside looks beautiful and the top like 1.5 inches looks beautiful, you're good.
And then the rest you can just.
Trim and
Gotcha.
smooth later, because then
Very
we'll
cool.
flip it upside down. I'll show you with mine what that looks like.
Sure.
Because ultimately, when you trim it, like I haven't cut this off yet. See, mine's funky too. But you'll put it upside down, and then you'll trim the bottom.
Gotcha.
But that won't happen until later. So now that was your lesson.
That was the first one. I love it.
Now
Thank you
we
so
just
much.
repeat.
Over and over and over.
And ceramics is all practice, like yoga. Like you do it once and like, oh, I can't touch my toes, but you do it for like a month and you're like touching the floor.
Yeah.
So let's do it again. Let's get a clean back, clean your hands. We'll cheers. We'll
Very cool.
maybe we can finish more of the magic trick. I don't
Yeah.
even know. That was awesome. Proud of you.
Yeah. This remind. I did martial arts for like 8 years and
Right.
still do Tai Chi.
Really?
And so this reminds me like another form of meditation in a sense, like
Yes.
a moving meditation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why if you're not present in the moment, things will get off center.
Yeah.
Things
Well, also
will-
too, you have to, the anchoring and
Yes. Let
being
it
patient.
rotate.
And, yeah.
So about the bases, I am doing Arts in the Park, first weekend in May in Richmond, Virginia. It's like such a big fun crafts fair, artist fair at the Carillon, and I'll be doing that. So I need to make vases and bird baths and berry bowls and all those springtime things. And yes, I do trimming. I have a birthday coming up. Happy birthday! How are you guys
Birthday.
doing?
Oh, my birthday's tomorrow. No joke, my birthday's
Happy
tomorrow.
birthday! Oh my gosh, I
Birthday,
love
cheers to that.
birthdays! Happy birthday!
Yeah, I'll be 21.
21! You shouldn't be drinking tonight then.
No, I'll be 38 tomorrow.
Happy birthday! Wait,
All
so
right.
what season are we in? What is this? Yours Pisces.
Pisces. Yeah.
I only know Pisces because some of my best friends are Pisces because I'm a Scorpio and water signs.
Ooh, yeah.
Happy birthday, LOL! Okay.
All right.
So, do you want to talk about your magic trick and then we'll throw another bowl? Or what should we do?
Yeah, we can do that. We can, do you have time to do one? What time is it?
It's like 7:30.
7:30?
7:40.
Do you want to do a real quick one?
Yeah, or I want to know about this. Is that for the after show or what?
Well, no, we can go through that.
Can we?
Yeah. Okay, so what we did to recap, if you're just joining,
If you're just
is,
joining, Shay's a magician.
I'm a magician, mind reader, and so we had a deck of cards. You shuffled the cards. You took out 5 cards. Take out those 5, but don't let me see them. And I haven't seen them yet, have I?
No, they've been
I've not
over
seen
here.
them. You shuffled them, and then you took out 5
Uh-huh.
cards from the shuffle deck.
We
Yeah.
have one of these cards with an image, and we have 5
Yeah.
playing cards. I haven't even seen them.
So just take the playing cards just for now. We'll do
Okay.
something just with those, and don't let me see the playing cards.
Can I let them see them?
They'll see them in a second.
Okay.
They'll see them in a second, but I want you to be able to see them, but I don't want to be able
Okay,
to see
I
them.
see them.
So that you can look at them, yes?
Yeah.
So these are 5 playing cards that you took out of a shuffled deck, yeah?
Yes. I shuffled
Um,
them, playing cards. I took.
And then you took the 5 out. Okay, fantastic. The first impression, the first feeling that I get is that there are 3 black cards and 2 red cards, yes?
Yes, but wait, close your eyes. Let me show them. It's more fun if they're in it.
Okay.
Close your eyes. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, got it?
Yes.
Okay, so there's 3 black cards, 2 red cards. Out of the
Yes.
black cards, I think there are 2 spades and 1 club, yes?
Yes.
Hand me the King of Spades. So there's the first one, the King of Spades. The other spade is not a picture card, it's a number card, it's not a card, it's the 9 of Spades. Hand me that one. Once again, these are shuffled by you, yeah? So,
I shuffled them.
the last one is a club. It's also another number card, but it's not an odd number, it's an even number, it's a 6 of clubs.
So close. It was a 5.
Oh, is it the 5? Okay, I was
It was
1 off.
6. Oh, close enough.
5's 1 off.
I'm impressed.
So the other 2 that are there are red cards. They're both number cards. One is a diamond, one is a heart,
Yes.
and the diamond is I don't know what the heart is. Okay,
Love the
the
drawings.
diamond is the 8 of diamonds. 8 of diamonds, fantastic. 8 of diamonds, fantastic. The last one, I think it's another even card, but I'm not, I don't know whether it's the 2, I think it's a heart, and I don't know whether it's the 2 or the 4. Which one is it? The
Dude,
2. So you were left.
You're right.
Let's remember this. You were left at the very end with the 2 of hearts. Yeah?
Yes, I was left at the very end
so you're
with
left
the 2 of hearts.
with the 2 of hearts. So now that that's down, so then you took out, we had a bunch of drawings. I do, during each of my shows, I have the audience member make a bunch of drawings, and like various audience members make a bunch of drawings, and then they write down words on the things, and then, so I had about 20 of those, and then Molly reached in and pulled one out out of that, and so we've got a drawing. Which drawing did we end up with?
Should I tell you the word too, or just the
Yeah,
drawing?
yeah, show everybody what it,
Okay, it's a car, and it says Rascal.
Rascal, so it's like a car truck kind of thing?
Car truck thing. Yeah.
Rascal?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
The
So
one door.
let's hang on to that one.
Okay.
Where was we were left with the last card was the 2 of hearts, right, that you were left with, and then we've got this truck and the word rascal at the bottom.
I think I know where this is going.
Okay,
Stop
and
it.
I also have a deck made up of like lottery numbers. So each one of the cards has written down different numbers for the lottery. And so once again, Molly shuffled up the entire deck and then pulled out 5 of those numbers. So which numbers did you end up with?
Okay.
So we've got.
I'll show you all some.
Either 33, 2, 14, 62, and 54. Yeah?
Yeah.
So hang on to those. Also, we had we had a random, I don't know what the piece of paper went. Here it is, right here.
Right there.
Yeah, yeah. So we had just a bunch of random numbers, and then Molly made a new number based on all of these numbers, and the new number that we ended up with is 18,032,019. That's the number that Molly ended up creating out of all of these numbers. Random, yeah. So here's what happened. Hold on to both of those. So in here, since the beginning, in this box, I have had an envelope, and Molly can verify that the envelope has been closed and sealed the entire time, yeah?
Yes, like we did all this on the pre-show over on Throwing with Molly, so you can see it all like, playing the cards.
For the first time, I'm gonna, and this is obviously, I've had this, we've had this through the entire show. I'm gonna open it up now. You'll see, I've got a few things in here. You'll see I have a playing card.
Yes.
These are things that before I came here tonight, I had feelings about certain things, and so I put this on here. The playing card, you were left with the 2 of hearts, and that's also exactly what I have. There's the 2 of hearts. The drawing that you had was the truck with
Rascal.
The truck with Rascal, and you'll see that I also drew a truck with the word Rascal on it.
I literally picked randomly.
The numbers again go. I wrote down a bunch of numbers. I've got 62. 62, 14, 33, 2, and 54. Yeah, so they're all the lottery numbers. If you want to play the lottery, you might want to play these. Pick 5.
Yeah, I'm playing them.
And then the last thing, which was, the number.
We didn't do, the number. We did do a number.
So the number you ended up with,
so yeah, if you missed how this all came about, check Throwing with Molly. We went live and...
The number you ended up with is 18 million. Yep, 18,032,019, and you'll see that is exactly what I ended up with. 18,032,019. He's
a magician.
Oh, one more thing.
When I see everybody else.
One more thing.
Oh my gosh.
Watch what I'm doing now. So I'm going on. This is my phone. I'm going on to my Instagram. I'm gonna go to my page. I made a video earlier on my Instagram, but I archived it because I don't want anybody to see it till now. But verify everything I do because they won't be able to see it. So here's where we archive. Yep, so you're familiar with that. Hold on,
I'm familiar with the archive.
Here's the video.
See a video. There's only one video.
Now, I'm
Turn
going
that volume
to...
up. Let me hear that.
7 p.m. with Molly Senior with Ceramics. During the show, I'm going to be trying to influence Molly to select certain things, to influence her thoughts and her actions. The first of which... This was made at 4:30. I think she's going to end up leaving this card, the 2 of hearts. I think out of a selection of various different drawings and words, she's going to end up selecting this one, the truck with the word rascal written down at the bottom. I think out of all of the lottery numbers, 60 plus lottery numbers, she's going to end up selecting these: 62, 14, 33, 2, and 54. And then finally, out of all of the numbers, Molly is going to create a final number out of the thousands and thousands of possibilities. I think this is the number she's going to end up with: 18,032,019, which just so happens to be today's date, 18th of March, 2019.
Stop it! It is! It is!
And you'll see that was made, you can verify, and I'm getting ready to post this on my Instagram, Darby the Mystic, D-A-R-B-Y, the
Darby
Mystic.
the Mystic.
But you can see, verify for everyone, it was made 3 hours ago, yeah? So I am going to add this to show on
Darby the
profile.
Mystic. I've been tagging him in my stories, so you can find him. Darby the Mystic.
Darby the Mystic. So now it's on my stories, and you
Now
all,
it's on his story.
you all
Go
can go
check
back and
it.
see it, and you'll see that it was made 3 hours ago. So yeah, there's that.
I love it. Thank you.
Fantastic. I'll take all that back.
Oh my gosh.
Very cool. Awesome.
Mind blown.
Blown.
And on the pre-show, you're talking about how the playing cards are all like the earliest version of the tarot cards or something.
Yeah, playing cards are
and
quite
they
interesting. A
result
lot of
like
people
days
think of
the
playing
year.
cards as, just a game.
And grab another ball of clay. We'll make one more bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing cards.
I want the
together
bowl
right
he
there.
made. They want your bowl.
Oh yeah.
He gets his bowl.
So playing cards in the 1800s, they were used as a calendar. So if you look at a deck of playing cards, there's 52 cards in a deck. There's 52 cards in a week. If you count up all the pips, so like the 6 of hearts, the hearts or the little pips, you count up all of those in a deck. It's 365. There's 365 days in a year. There's 4 suits. There's 4 seasons. There's 13 cards in a suit. There's 13 weeks in a lunar year, or 13 months in a lunar year. Excuse me. So
What's the 13th month?
if you start to look at so the old style calendars were made on a 13-month schedule, and if you look at
You already remember, dry hands, tap it into a cone. So many
Right.
people forget to tap it into a cone with dry hands.
so if you look at astrology, some calendars go off of 12, like a 12-month cycle, and there's 12 signs.
Yes.
A lot of the older calendars actually go off a 13-month cycle, and there's actually 13 signs.
Okay.
So yeah.
So we missed it was 7:40, and I tried to set a timer so at 7:40 I could answer y'all's questions. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna clean my hands. You keep going.
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna cone
cone.
up and cone down. Your left hand's the boss, your palm is at that angle, thumb's at that angle. The right hand is holding that sponge like that. Fingertips are down on that bat, hands are connected. And you're kind of squeezing that clip, but letting it rotate and coming up slowly. And once you get to the top, you hold it for like 5 rotations and then slow release. So my guest, Shane Patrick Cruz, his Instagram is Darby the Mystic. Like Darby Days.
Yeah, Darby is the stage name. The associate producer for my show is like, you need a stage name. I'm like, I don't know. The show is called Stories
How
of
do
the
you name
Unexplained.
yourself?
So the show is called Stories of the Unexplained, and the show is actually based off stories of my own life, like real life stories, just weird things that have happened. And so when he told me I needed a name for the show, I wanted to base it off something that has to do with me. And so I have an English and Irish background.
Okay.
And Darby is the surname, it's an English and Irish surname.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so
So you're coning up and down as many times as you need to. Just get it feeling
then
smooth and prepared.
squeeze.
Yep, you're karate chopping. This hand's hugging that thumb. This hand's the boss. All right, so I think this question goes out to you,
Okay.
Darby, or Shane. It's from Mudslinging Pottery. Have you ever had a trick go wrong?
Yeah. I've had a few tricks go wrong.
I guess just like if a pot flies off, you have to learn somehow.
Yeah, I've had a few tricks go wrong. I had a trick go wrong in front of 400 people at a really nice fundraiser.
No way.
Yeah, it was really bad. The I don't want to get into it, but it was pretty bad. Yeah.
Mr. Darby, Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, there you go.
All right, what do you think about your experience so far with clay?
It's been really fun.
Because you had never had experience
No,
with clay.
I've never had
Tell
experience
me
with clay
everything. What do you
before.
think?
No, I've never had experience. And I think you really have to get used to the pressure and the centering, or else it just completely throws it completely off. Like if you start off center,
Yes.
or with too much pressure or too little pressure, then it throws the rest of it just completely off.
Yes, and I like to tell my beginners that if you ignore a problem, it just comes back bigger.
Yeah.
So if it's a little off center, you just hold it, you fix it right there, and then the next step's fine. Like you can always fix it, but if you ignore something, you can't. I'm gonna add a little colored clay to mine. This is how I add that color into mine. And this is some recycled clay. So I actually have no idea what color this is gonna be, but I think it's gonna be like a gray. Alright, more questions. Any tips on how to be more environmentally conscious as a potter?
What happened here?
Oh, that's okay. Just kind of dry and you just ripped a little off. It can get recycled.
Oh, okay.
No problem. To be more environmentally conscious as a potter, everything that you fire becomes permanent on this earth. So one thing you could do is if you see something and you don't love it, just recycle it before you fire it. That's one thing. That's a big thing I would say. Don't fire everything. Just because you made it, you don't have to fire it and make it permanent. You could always make it, learn from it, and recycle it and make another one. Look at you. So you're just coating up and down, and you're letting it rotate, and you're slow releasing. More questions. How do you get the effect of the organic lip bowls? I'm going to be sharing that more over on Throwing with Molly. So go follow Throwing with Molly. I'm going to share more behind the scenes, tips, tricks. And right now it's all a free private account, but eventually starting May will be a paid membership account where hopefully you'll get more how-tos, more lessons, more behind the scenes, more fun stuff. Benson Bitchin' Bees.
What a great
Why
name.
can I only throw bowls and not bloody coffee cups? What am I doing wrong? Well, you kind of might know the answer. If you're getting a bowl and it's going out wide and it's not becoming vertical, what's happening?
You are pulling out too much?
Yeah, your inside hand's being the boss. Your inside hand's
Right.
pushing out, or
That's exactly what I meant.
it's like, whereas the outside, if you're trying to do a coffee mug, you're basically trying to do a cylinder. Your hands are connected. Outside hand's the boss. It's pushing up and in at like a volcano.
Mm-hmm.
For a bowl, the inside hand is pressing out and up, making a curve. So if you're wanting a coffee mug but you're getting a bowl, you're probably letting the inside hand push out more, whereas the inside hand needs to relax, the outside hand is containing.
So why are you adding the extra?
This is gonna create like a gray swirl. Like, I don't think I have any colored clay pieces down here.
A
to
gray
show you.
swirl like around the top?
Yeah, so my clay's white and this
Mhm.
clay's my recycled scraps from when I made a blue pot and a red pot and an orange pot. So it's all like the colors,
Mm-hmm.
just recycled. So it should be
Gotcha.
some kind of gray. I don't really know yet. No, I just tapped that on there. We'll see. Another reason your coffee mug might turn into a bowl is because you're going too fast. And once you start opening, if you go too fast, woo, it becomes a bowl really easy. And then, how can I throw without having to buy a wheel, a kiln, and everything? You can sign up for a class, take a class at a local shop, and then you get to use their
Or take your
equipment.
workshop.
Take my workshop this summer. You've got to pretty much take a class or join a community studio, and then you don't have to buy it all. You can use their stuff.
Is there a community studio around here?
We got the Visual Arts Center. There's Hand Thrown, a local place over on Brooklyn Park Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
Just popped up.
Mm-hmm.
VMFA. I think they're renovating their studios. And then the final question from Claire Brands. Do you plan on having future guests with more throwing experience? I plan to keep having guests of all levels. Throwing experience, non-throwing experience, friends, family, everybody. So thanks
You
for
have all of the
questions.
episodes on a YouTube channel too, right?
On my
When they're
YouTube,
done.
on my
Yeah.
website, they're all there. So you can go back. This is episode 41.
41.
So before you open and like make that
Uh-huh.
thickness, I would push it down to center a little more.
Down more? Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty much centered in the fact that it's not wobbling, but it's kind of still diagonal and up a little tall. So I just push it down just a little more. Perfect. Right hand's the boss. Now hold the right hand there and let this palm, not the fingertips, just this palm press against that clay and let it rotate like 5 times. You're almost there. A little more. rotate, 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 slow, release. Boom! Shane's never thrown before.
Never. So how does that?
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
You can just catch
Is that
that
gonna
with your
push down?
karate chop and hold it steady with that left hand and just catch that center part with your right hand. Karate. Yep. And just connect your hands and just let it rotate. Yep, you got it. And it's just rotate. And once it's done, you slow release. You're doing so great. I forget that you've never thrown because I'm kind of just letting you throw and you're throwing. Perfect. Now you're ready to create your so right now my opening is only that wide.
Right.
I'm just opening, and then after I open, which is just pressing down, then these fingertips, and you can do it all at once, these fingertips are going to pull back towards me, and this is where you want to stop pulling when it's as wide as you want it.
Okay.
So first just push down to get your thickness.
Let me ask a question. How do you get so the bowls, like the previous bowls that we did, and some of the bowls a lot of the bowls I see are just bowls that go out like this. How do you get a bowl that curves back in?
In. You might almost want to do more of a cylinder, like this, where you kind of get your height. And I'm just going to put that finger on top to kind of compress that. Because, I forgot to put colored clay in mine, so it's a little more wonky.
Yeah.
But you might want to get your thickness. So I'm pulling. So this hand's the boss. It's starting on that bat. It's squeezing that clay that's flaring out. Meanwhile, this hand's connected. It's pushing out. It's squeezing that clay. But instead of just going out wide, I'm coming up straight, slowing the wheel. Let the outside hand be the boss. This hand's just gently guiding with it all the way to the top. Rotate, rotate, rotate. And then what you could do is use that rib and get that bend and anchor yourself and connect. You're always connected. And let this inside hand kind of scoop out. And then relax and let this wave back in. Like that.
So like
And then
a singing bowl. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, like where you like those metal
like
bowls?
that shape. Yeah, like that shape.
Then that might be open a little more, not like that. So basically, however I hold that, I can just push into it. So like it's like that, I can push, and it's going to translate whatever shape that is.
Got you.
And then I just hold it, rotate, rotate. See, it's a little wonky, so I rotate, rotate.
So this needs to come up and then
slow release.
and then shaped.
Yes. So you don't want to go woo. You want to come whoop.
There's a pottery place in Easton, Maryland.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I think there's a lot of pottery places all over
Is
the
pottery
country.
pottery starting to gain some popularity?
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously more than
Oh yeah.
it already has, because there's a lot of places seem to be popping up.
Yeah. I mean, my dream once upon a time was to open a community clay studio.
Yeah.
Where everybody, because like now you're going to be hooked and you're going to be like, where can I take a class? And I could say Northside Clay because that was the name I was going to call it. But
Northside Clay.
Yeah, Northside Clay, right over on MacArthur Avenue. But in real life, I have a community clay studio at my school.
Yeah.
So to take on the challenge of another community clay studio is a lot.
Yeah.
And I love teaching and I love my school. So, perfect. And I'm going to help you add a little more water. This hand is the boss, perfect. This hand's just drilling down and you're thinking about how much clay you're leaving. And then you'll pull back towards yourself. So see, look, we got 1:45 left.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to, and thank you for asking how to shape. We kind of talked about that. And then I would take this wooden knife tool. And when you throw, you're always creating the shape on the inside that you want on the outside. So like out here, it looks kind of like a cylinder, but in there. So then I can take this and do a cut like this and reveal some of that shape.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Or when I trim it later. And then that comes off, and then I could shape it just one more time, just to smooth that. So depending on your form. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We only have 1 minute left, so will you just let it rotate and slow release, and now you can hold that sponge and kind of like make that center smooth. It was so fun to have Shane Patrick Cruz, aka Darby the Mystic. I've been tagging him on Instagram. I'll tag him again. He has never thrown before. And I did, the only thing we did 15 minutes before we went live here for Throwing with Molly, I was over on my Instagram account, Throwing with Molly, and I gave him a quick lesson. That was it. I didn't even hand over hand during this hour. And he's centered and he started his own pot. I haven't even helped him. Boom! Boom! Seriously, I graduated college and at Clinton Center. So cheers to you. Thank you
Cheers
so much
again.
for coming.
Thank you very much for having me. Cheers.
And if you check out his Instagram and his website and all of that, you can see where he came, and that's how I met him. He came and did a magic trick with me and my dad and did a quick interview, and it was so fun.
Yeah.
Cheers again. Sorry,
Cheers
I love
again.
cheers. I'm going to sip it. And the last cheers and another cheers. See you next Monday.
See ya. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in.